Super weird.
Main carry guy.
God, what I definitely dislike it because whilst it's good against Ember Void, it's very greedy. So is Enigma, very greedy. I don't know, like that. No one on this team so far flash farms at all. Even the supports can't really clear waves very well either. So it's gonna be. I don't know how they're gonna take a lot of farm on the map. I mean, obviously Doom flash farms via his spells. Like he'll get Midas, he'll use Devour, but like in terms of like pushing waves, they don't really have a hero that does that.
Radiant team back.
Oh, I like this pick.
That's nice.
I was
That's heal.
I was looking at Skyreth or Phoenix, and I think this is much better because it's the team fights. Like you're looking at Talon, you're like they're going kind of greedy. This could go late game, and that's where I think you're like Skyreth. Once the enemy hit BKB timings, you're not useless, but your impact on the game is
drops
gone.
off significantly.
Yeah, you're all about that early game, the laning stage, and also like those early rotations. Whereas Phoenix, I think, is like the stable pick. Slightly weaker early game, but just you're gonna hit this big late game team fight, late game team fight, and also late game timing where I think you see Talon's draft and like that's kind of where they're headed too. Like, are you really in any threat of being run over with Doom Enigma? I don't think so.
This is. I feel like RSG has outdrafted them so hard, or they've outdrafted themselves. I don't know. Like, no, only
Wait,
do you
did
have.
they outdraft Talon or themselves?
I mean, no,
Which one?
Talon
saying
have
Talon
outdrafted
outdrafted
themselves,
themselves,
but
okay.
RSG have also.
After them.
I
I
see,
got
I
you.
see.
You got
I
the
got you.
Warlock heal and the Phoenix heal against this Doom. You have an egg that's gonna cover you against Black Hole. You have the Chrono, which also like makes it super hard. Like, okay, it's just really, really hard, I think, for Talon to fight, and that they have like no real damage either to follow up. Like, say they get the Doom off, who is actually finishing off that person?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's where they bust out the safe lane Lina, but it's banned.
Yeah, it's so weird. Okay.
They kind of need an egg here. I mean, or you just accept you can't kill egg. Sniper maybe? I don't know. Sniper doesn't feel great against like Ember and even the Void to some extent. They both got jump. What do you hit egg with? If Juggernaut, I just hate Juggernaut. Juggernaut Void is pretty garbage. Options look limited.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I don't know what I want to rescue this draft right now. I'll be real.
Is it mainly just damage egg hitting that you really want from it, or is there just so much missing?
Egg hitting isn't
I don't
like a
care about egg
necessity.
hitting.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think anyone's gonna be able to follow you to get the egg, so like you might as well just disengage. But like the problem with your whole lineup is that everyone engages. Like everyone commits so hard. You're committing hard with Grip. You're committing hard with Doom. You're committing hard with Black Hole. There's no poke on Talon's lineup right now.
Dire team pick.
I don't know what they're doing. Okay.
I think they're doing carry Doom. I mean, they could be carry DK, but
the DK's their objective taking, so like that does fill a hole in the draft. They'll be able to take towers with DK.
I mean, there's a chance Marcy's a core, I guess, as well, if they want to play like a more ganking kill style, which is maybe not a bad option when you consider, the limitations of their draft. Maybe they just need this like farm super playmaker hero killer. But
how do they defend their towers as well on Talon?
Huh?
I mean, RSG are pretty like low on tower damage.
Yeah, I don't think that's something you need right now.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Well, I'm trying to think about their win condition, right? Talon's win condition is they want to get to the point where, like, they're super farmed on like Doom Enigma, and they can just get multiple Dooms and Black Holes off.
Yeah.
RSG have really good heroes that kind of combat though. So
I look at Talon's draft and I think they're just like, we don't want to go late game. They have Void Phoenix. Let's just pick a bunch of like tempo early to mid game cores that get a BKB, and then we just like can't die with BKBs.
Yeah. You think they just want to walk it down with like Eidolons and Dragon Form?
Like they don't have the best push, but they'll just, wherever the enemy goes, they'll match them and be like, okay, we want to fight you. Anytime like they have their BKBs, they'll be ready to, do something. Like, how do you kill a Doom DK in mid game with a Void's not gonna have damage?
Yeah. Well, these two drafts are now completed, and we're going to bring in our casters, the always reliable Michael Prediction and John Xfire with his cute little doggo.
Name the dog. For the fans.
It's Nala. Her name's Nala. Her name's Nala, and she's also a Talon supporter because we have Sophie the dog with us in Talon, and the draft is not making Nala too happy. She's kind of looking away, so I'm not sure about this one from Talon.
I think it's the camera. It's the camera. She's a little bit camera shy,
Oh, I love you.
She's so adorable. Mike, where's your companion? Or is your companion in the drafts?
Listen, I'm stuck in my closet right now. You know, I've got nobody around me. It's a very lonely place where I am at the moment. John's got his damn dog with him. Everyone's going to spam love hearts now in the chat. It's just sickening, isn't it? It's just absolutely sickening that this guy gets so much love and he pulls his damn dog out to get even more love. It's
honestly, what more could he do?
What more could this guy do? I don't know. My prediction's RSG. Look, I want maximum tiebreakers. RSG is going to win this game 3. I want maximum tiebreakers. Absolute maximum.
I learned my lesson. I'm with Mike.
Was Mike right last game?
He was.
Okay,
It was Mike and I.
There we go.
So you going with Mike too?
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, you guys really do just...
I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson.
Oh, well, I can't let John be by himself, so I'll go with Talon for this one. As game number 3 between Talon and RSG. Let's see where this standings do end after this game.
Well, thank you so much, Nat. We do go into it. It is MLP Dota and johnxfire and our third co-cast now, Nala. I'm going to ask Nala what she thinks of the drafts. Nala, can you give us a comment on whose draft you like better? Well, she's blinking with her right eye, Jonathan. I feel like that's RSG's end of things. How do you feel about that as a Talon supporter?
Well, you know, this is one hell of a draft from Talon. I don't know where this is
So
going.
cute.
Pause one Doom.
So
I have
cute.
no clue what they're trying to do here on Talon's end. I mean, there was some of that experimentation in game 2, and they tried again here. Of all the series to go experimenting, it's last series for Talon to play. And RSG to play. It's a lot in the line. And they bring out the pause one Doom. Maybe it works. I don't know.
Well, now Roger's talking about boyfies. Boyfies. I'm not sure what these words mean anymore. I'm too old for this kind of language, John, but it's like looks like Roger's feeling confident going into game 3. John, give me your honest opinion. I mean, between these two drafts, do you believe in pause one Doom?
Most certainly not, Mike.
Okay.
I actually pitched for a mid Doom and a safe lane DK, because we've seen safe lane DK at least. I think Savage also played it a couple of times on his time on T1. So, you know, that's tried and tested. Pause one Doom? I just don't know. I just don't know, Mikey. And again, of all the games to try this out on, it's this last series. Hey, it keeps it exciting. We'll just see if this is some secret tech Talon just never showed off. I don't know.
Hey, I love it. You know me, John. I'm a real sicko. So anytime we get to see a pause one that just looks cheesy and just weird, I get very, very excited. And well, speaking of that pause one, John, we will start with the bottom lane. You're going to have 23 Savage and Hyde on the Bane and Doom combo. Going to be with Zhao Yu and Zhao Bonbon against them. So pause 3 Clockwork here with the pause 4 Phoenix. We know Zhao Bonbon in particular loves playing this Phoenix back from his... God, what was the team called? The full Vietnamese stats. 496.
496.
We used to see him play Phoenix all the time, John, and he's a fantastic Phoenix player. Against the Doom Bane, how do you feel about it?
I think it's pretty good. Again, this is a great little Phoenix game. You don't have the best right click coming out from Talon to deal with the egg down the line. And it's a melee safe lane up against Clockwork plus Phoenix. Hyde can't do too much to stop Zhao Bonbon. Just spamming out those remnants. Savage's right click speed is already atrociously slow on the Doom. Gonna be slower every application. This feels like a really good lane for RSG to be aggressive on. Level 3 spike's gonna be huge. Hyde could try for some nightmare saves, but it just doesn't feel great. And as long as they block off that large camp, it should be pretty tough for Savage to find a good Doom creep with a good skill. Even their small camp is something that they have to watch out for here on Talon's end.
Of course, mid lane as well. Exilone against Makoto. John, this is the classic boring lane, as every time you see a mid DK, you just know that nothing's really going to happen. Would you like to talk to us about what we have to look out for in this mid lane, Jonathan?
Farm, pretty much it. Orb of Corrosion timing for Exilern feels better. It's a matter of, again, reaching level 6s, although for Mikoto's part, it doesn't feel like you're going to be looking for too much kill aggression. You're looking for the push here from the DK. Exilern can kind of punish. He does have really good support. I was about to say he has great supports to rotate, and it's a Phoenix and Warlock, so not the most amazing, but it can still get work done onto Mikoto if they want to kind of commit. Rune control, it's a little bit more important for RSG, so that's something Mikoto might be more willing to give away in this game.
On top lane, of course, you're going to have Roger there with MKS against KP and Q. The Enigma and Marcy lane. In fact, there's your toss back on Roger, but it seems like Q's in danger more so than Roger is, as Q is forced to back off and just barely get away. Very, very deep there from Q. Very risky players. Of course, KP on the Enigma can't really help him out in those situations. Still, how do you feel about this off lane of Talon and the safe lane of RSG?
it feels like a pretty good lane for MKS. There is some threat of a dive in and dispose with Malphus on top. That could be deadly. Early time walk levels aren't huge, but you still have enough of a window, and you always have Roger around with Shadow Word, of course. You can just heal up. It does feel like Talon's going to be a bit more passive, mainly looking for farm with KP. And at the very least, Q can kind of piggyback off of that, get a little bit of EXP going for himself on Marcy, but it just doesn't feel like you'll really fully threaten MKS. You have some stuns, it doesn't feel like it's enough to hold down the Void.
So far, no first blood being drawn, 3 minutes in. Very passive kind of lanes for now. The bot lane is where I really want to keep my heart on, because I just really want to keep an eye on what this Pos1 Doom does. You know, I understand he's going to farm forever, and he actually gets very lucky with the mana burn creep as well. So he kind of actually has a pretty easy lane for himself, John, against the Pos3 Clockwork. Like, this is a hero that does not have a great mana pool to begin with. You're just going to be able to drain that every single time he has it back up. Chances are Xiao Yu and Xiao Bonbon, they're not going to be able to get too much done against this Pos1 Doom.
Yeah, they're just going to have to surrender to the fact that Savage will find his farm and try to focus on the EXP. Running Clockwork and Phoenix does mean you're going to want the EXP to flow, and you shouldn't be stopped from that. Savage does have a huge wave pushing in. He's not going for denies. Hyde can't really stop it either. So at the very least, you're going to have some good level 6 spikes lined up here for RSG, and you can play off the back of that hook shot, off the back of that egg. That's going to be massive. So I don't think you mind too much, but yeah, you have to surrender to the fact that Savage will farm, build into the Midas BKB in this game, and just kind of be a much more scaling Doom. Like, he's got the option for the short, the Ags online.
Exilern, he's been caught out here, John, on the Ember. Shadow Word is not going to help Hyde. He got there in time with the Brain Sap, and the heal was just not out on Exilern in time to save his life. Really nice rotations here from Talon, and this is something they are going to have to do, is just slow down the cores of RSG and don't allow them to just set a tempo in their favor.
Yeah, and again, we go back to that interview with Ohio. They want to slow down Mikado. Talon recognizing that Exilern does provide a lot of that momentum down mid as well. Start to get aggressive and get some punishment going. The support rotations of Talon are pretty big. You've got mobility with Marcy, you've got great single target lockdown with both of these heroes, along with the DK stun. Like, it's a lot of great single target stuns, which doesn't shine in team fights. So that's a shortcoming of Talon. But in the laning phase with these rotations, the pickoff game is quite strong from Talon's end. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mike, I've got to put Nala out. I've been holding her and she's kind of getting upset at me, so I'll bring her out now.
Ooh. Oh, well, there goes my favorite co-caster. Is the Ember, again being caught out here. Exilern, he does not have level 6. He's in big trouble right now, but does get a very nice chains off and is able to walk away, at least for now. The Q has rebound back up in 3 seconds, so he might keep going. Though I highly doubt he wants to really dive into this mid lane underneath the tier 1 tower. And Roger's going to be there anyway with the Shadow Word to keep Exilern healthy. So instead, Makoto, obviously with the 5-minute siege creep spawning up, just wants to get the push going into the mid-tier 1 tower with the Dragon form, and is doing a decent job of it. Of course, the siege creep looks to be protected here by Talon. And who are they chasing? Onto Roger. Dispose is there. Roger, maybe just going a bit too far for this D-ward, is going to be punished. And sad thing is, they still have that siege creep alive to keep going for this tier 1 mid-push.
And that's where Talon does shine here, Mike. That level 6 timing for Mikado. You just multi-subjectives. They might find Hyde for their trouble, though.
They may. Nightmare is there. Hyde gonna go for a run. Exilern could not finish the job off. In fact, Xiao Bonbon's gonna try with the Icarus dive, but now he's gone too far. He tries to sacrifice himself for the kill. It is not gonna work out in RSG's favor. And suddenly Talon 3-0, just really making sure Makoto has the best lane possible. And in the meantime, top lane! KP, he'll just pop the black hole and secure the kill for himself.
I love what they're doing. Like, they're just dragging all this attention towards mid. It's so hard to kill off Mikado because it's a DK, and it just frees up the side lanes. You can get a little bit more play out from KP. He can look for the angles with black hole, no one to cancel. In fact, the black hole cancellation from RSG, there are options, but all of them kind of require very specific circumstances. So down the line could be hard, especially if KP manages his Eidolon as well. 4-0 start for Talon, though.
They've got Savage now, John. Xiao Yu has the mana for the battery assault, and Savage, he can't really do too much. He's going to try and go for a run here, and Hyde will actually back him up. So Savage, he is not really burning out too far. In fact, Q is going to make the jump in onto Xiao Bonbon, punish him once again, and ultimately Savage, he just walks out scot-free.
Yeah, they bail him out. He's also a very tanky guy. You know, he has a lot of armor now, a lot of regen on hand. They didn't have enough damage to punish him. And we're seeing a few holds from RSG, at least in terms of execution, Talon are on top. They recognize their advantage. They have really good single target control. They've got this great mobility from Q's Marcy. They're just being so aggressive with these heroes, buying so much space for every other lane that isn't being fought on. Like,
oh,
they missed a hook.
Oh boy, that's not nice. You know, I'll make an excuse for Xiao Yu here, John. I don't think he was expecting the chains to connect. And as a clockwork spammer myself, when someone sets up for me, I always miss as well. Then again, John, I'm not a pro player, so it's kind of expected from me.
Fair enough, Mikey. It happens to all of us, even the best. Sometimes you just don't expect that, you know, he's actually going to stay still for that moment. You miss out. It's still a tough target to go onto. You know, Mikado's still fairly well protected. There were TP point. You still have your mid to TP into if you wanted to, for Talon to look for the turn play. So probably not the biggest missed opportunity. I think the issue with RSG focusing so hard in mid is, again, opening up the side lanes. Because KP's actually finding some farm. It's a much slower start for MKS this time around on that Faceless Void.
Exilern, be careful, sir. Oh, Exilern! Oh, no, Exilern, no!
Oh my god, he uses TP!
No, Exilern! Oh, you could see it coming! You knew it was going to happen too, it was all in slow motion!
Oh no, I mean, that's going to stall him out. MKS?
Oh, top lane, no MKS, not you two. He's not going to die to neutrals, but he might die to Q. In fact, he might die to the Eidolons here, John. In fact, never mind. Chrono out. MKS is going to have none of it. Right back onto Q. They'll secure one, but now the Nightmare to set up. Hyde, he'll keep trying to get this going as MKS eventually will die to the Eidolons. It's all about the creeps here, John. The Eidolons just making it work as they find another. Meanwhile, Savage on the other side of the map going for a run, but it looks like they might just have him. And they will. They'll at least punish the opposing position one, but it's still a very painful process here for RSG.
It takes a lot to get that pin down, and you're just getting so much more space. Look at mid. Mikado clears it out in DK with all the aggression happening elsewhere this time around. Nothing to stop that DK from getting clear out. Blink for Mikado is going to be lining up fast. 5k lead for Talon early on. RSG, it feels like they're the ones that kind of has to play the slow game with MKS. You could play fast with your Ember, but Exilern doesn't even have his phase boots up, no Orb of Corrosion lined up straight to Mjolnir or Maelstrom to clear out MKS.
Nightmare to set up. They've got the Dragon Tail to follow up as well. And oh, John, they've got Black Hole. KP, he'll just pop it for this if he needs to, but it doesn't even seem like they need that. They'll hold on to Black Hole. They'll get MKS once again on the POS 1 Void. And I mean, against the POS 1 Doom, John, you're naturally already going to be behind as the Void. With this kind of start, it's going to be a lot further behind.
Yeah, it's super slow. Like MKS and Exilern both having a really slow game, barely above Q's farm. And Talon actually getting this wonky lineup going, although.
Yeah, they're going to try to hide. Malefice, though, is going to put an end to it. And now the Fiend's Grip. Just hold down the claw. Oh, into the Black Hole. That's what you get for channeling upheaval like that. You get Black Hole.
Sometimes the temptation's there, Mike. You know, I gotta save my core. I gotta get that upheaval slow. They're melee. They have to run down, and you just get punished. They were clumped up. Great patience from KP. RSG, and they went for the Void this time, right? They're the ones who picked up the Faceless Void. They do have the the Exilern Ember, but it's again a slower start. He's still bottom network core. MKS and Xiao Yu are having a little bit of a better time. We have to see RSG play around their team fight. Right? The Egg, the Chrono combination, the Golem to break off some of those single target spells that Talon will want to channel, the Grip, the Black Hole. They've got great ways of counteracting that, but in these staggered fights, the Bane and the Marcy really just shine. They just have so much to do in these fights, and now you have your full blink up in Mikado. He can just jump in and be the initiation, save the supports, follow-ups, as follow-up instead and as counterfight options.
Bot lane, Mikado, big jump in. Q is there to follow up as well, and Xiao Bonbon not having a very good time here on this Phoenix. 1-3 is the scoreline for Xiao Bonbon, and well, Talon, I mean, 11-2, John, 8k advantage. It's just not something you'd expect when you look at their draft, but man, they're making it work. This is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you come out with POS 1 Doom, you give Mikado something that isn't flashy like the DK, and they're still showing up on Talon's end. RSG going for a smoke play, though. They've got that Golem. Smoke on smoke. Awkward.
Awkward indeed. Nightmare is there, but the bounty rune was taken by Exilern. Meanwhile, stun is out into Sharp on bomb, but they really want that Dragon Knight with the Sun Ray going, but it does get cancelled off. Instead, Q, he'll tank the gank for his team. With the dispose out, he understands he's going to die, but he's stuck around to make sure they'd go after him instead, and you let Makoto just give the tip away, knowing Q has sacrificed himself for his mid player.
Yeah, and they're also just dragging so much attention away for everyone else. Savage is free to farm that jungle. With the Midas going into the BKB Blink, KP already has that full rate packed up, going for the Aether Lens as we saw him do in Game 1. And, you know, despite being more aggressive in that DK, they're still out farming the rest of RSG. MKS, no Maelstrom yet. Farming pace is slower for the Void, as we've seen from Savage, especially in Game 2. Exilern still looking for his first item pickup past the phase boots. And you do have that full urn up on Xiaoyu, very close at full Spirit Vessel. It just doesn't feel like they're able to play around the Clockwork single target ganking potential just yet, because they're not really looking for the pickoffs together.
Certainly are not. Excuse me. Very slow game here for RSG thus far. See what they can do to try and turn this one around, as they are grouping up now. Roger. MKS, they're going to commit Chrono here behind. It's just a Bane kill, but right now with the way this game's going, they just want anything they can get. He still gets the Observer what he wanted anyway, Hyde. It's just so much commitment for this Pos 5 Bane, and I mean, you're kind of desperate anyway as RSG, but it certainly goes to show how desperate you feel right now.
Yeah, and they have to take what they can get. This is keeping them in the game and just prevents that rundown. They do manage to find a pickoff onto Xiaoyu down bot, though. So core for support in the end. Much happier on that part for Talon. And still, Savage has all the room in the world. This is probably the most free game we've seen Savage in this series. Game 1, he was a lot more aggressive. Here, he's just camping back, using Devour, using the Midas, and no one's punishing that Doom. They just can't find him.
They can't. Such a greedy build-up, but he's getting away with it just fine. Going right into the BKB and the Blink after that, and after the Blink's up, you can certainly start to get aggressive here as Savage. Speaking of Blinks, Q already has one of his own, and now mid lane. Just a nightmare onto what appeared to be a creep. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I didn't know there was an IAR voice line in the game. Who did that?
Oh, there is.
Who is it? Let's call him out. Into the breach.
ITV.
Disgusting. Yep. Shameful. The things people do for money, huh?
Hey, you know, if it gets the packs, Mike, it works. It's a lot better than an F pack, at least.
That's very true, John. Thank you for that. You always find the brighter side for me, John. Thank you very much for that.
We love you now.
Yeah. Well, no, not quite. Still, 12-4, 9k net worth advantage here for Talon. Obviously, most of that net worth advantage is still on 23 Savage, but I say that, John. Makoto's right behind him, and so is KP, so it is still shared very evenly between Talon right now. It's not like it's one hero just soaking up all the gold.
Yeah, they're distributing it really well. They're using the space. It's just down to the fact that they're only finding supports from RSG. And you're managing to bail out Mikado every time. No one's even making any moves onto Savage, and KP's been left alone for such a prolonged period. And feels like this deficit's going to show its face soon. RSG, they at least managed to get that Maelstrom up on MKS. And his farm pace kicks up. Although
jump in, Q, very early blink up into the Doom, onto Exilern, but a nice golem drop to try and save the day still. Exilern is probably going to die out to this Doom as they keep going. Egg is going to be dropping now, the Fiend's Grip holding down Xiaoyu. The hook shot, it's off the mark again. Oh, they land nothing. MKS now.
No.
But what do you say about that, John? It's a complete mess from RSG. Just nothing connecting. And quite frankly, I don't think they were expecting Q to have such a quick blink up on the Marcy.
Yeah, he's had a fantastic time on this hero. Been copying the ganks, finding them kills. The mobility you have with that Marcy is just ridiculous. So even though Mikado is not on a playmaking hero, not as much of a mobile hero in comparison to, say, his Ember, his Void Spirit, Q is still there to rebound around, get the blink off, and just get these fights going. Again, the single target control of Talon's so big. Every time RSG just show one and they're not able to start these fights on their own terms, it can quickly snowball away from their control here.
Absolutely. Mid lane, Roger, Exilern. And they see Q, but even the Marcy might just be too difficult to take down right now. They won't even bother trying. Instead, top lane, they'll try onto KP. It's a much easier target to go for, and they will catch him. Still, Savage is going to at least try to punish the opposing past 3. Xiao Yu does land the hookshot this time around, but it may not save him. The Nightmare does connect from Hyde, and he does secure the kill for himself on the Bane. So really, you get the Enigma, you still lose your past 3.
Dire's top tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
you're still making sacrifices, and the Eidolons are still around from KP to pressure in that lane as well. Next
Mid
week
lane.
wave coming in.
Roger. He'll get caught out as well here, John. Again, going for D wards on the Radiant jungle, but it does cost him his
Xiao
life.
Bon
And
Bon.
yeah, now Xiao Bon Bon top lane. Getting caught by Hyde as Talon. They do not look to slow down. BKB popped by Savage, just not playing around. He'll find another.
And he's going for that build-up we talked about, going for the shards, gonna have that Infernal Blade with a really nice burn, nicer stun to play with. And it's just so much control. Like, the single target control from Talon means that even if you catch someone out, everyone else has a stun. It's literally a stun per hero here. So you can still find an angle in.
Top lane, they've got Black Hole. Exilern, nice remnant away. Sensing something was wrong, he does back his way out just in the nick of time. RSG, they're going for a group up here mid. There might be a big smoke rotation to come as they've got all their spells up. They are not bringing the Void with them though. They will go without Chrono for now. Makoto, he'll be there to break the smoke and jump right in onto Xiao Bon Bon. No messing around, right after the Phoenix. Take him down. Xiao Yu, he'll go for a hook shot in, but can he actually get the kill? Maybe they can, but it looks like it's going to cost him his own life as MKS. He's going to show up, try to save the day, but now the Doom's out. They caught Exilern and the Black Hole. KP, he'll just hold both of them down. Oh, it's just too messy. It's not clean at all. Even the Fiend's grip. Hyde, why you gotta do him like that? Hyde just spat in his face, John. He spat in his face.
He's a Giga Chad. He's a Giga Chad. He's got to do it. He's got to show that dominance here. The discipline out from Talon, right? Like, they understand that hookshot's gone. All right, we can go in. Black Hole, no worries. Chrono catches a couple of heroes, but then it also catches Exilern trying to walk up, gets doomed. Now Roshan's open. You know Chrono's down. And the one big teamfight tool for RSG's gone outside of Chaotic Offering, which is nice, but again, no follow-up for that, really. And when you look at Talon's draft, you think of these big ults, right? Doom is big, Black Hole is big, but just... and Grip is big, but there's single target stuns on almost every hero. It's just so much that even without these spells, it doesn't feel like RSG can still crack in unless they have their own big teamfight spells ready to capitalize on no threat of Black Hole. So Talon has good tempo and teamfight, and they're somehow making it work. It felt like, again, you look at this draft, you and I didn't have too much faith in that core Doom, like the safe lane Doom for Savage, and it just pays off. They buy him all the space he needs to get the farm. Shiva's lining up really soon here, Mike, skipping out the shards for now. And RSG, it feels like they need that perfect combo. We have to see that Egg Chrono play with the Golem on top, and just get those chain stuns, get that real huge AoE control going RSG's way somehow. But Talon are just so declumped until they're on top of one hero.
Absolutely. Well, the Aghanim Scepter's coming up soon from Makoto, John. The Black Dragon. It's on its way. 21 minutes in, RSG backs against the wall, 19k behind. Is this the Nala buff, John? Is that what you've done here?
Oh yeah, I think it is. You know, we love dogs over in town. Big dog people.
I can tell.
That sounds really wrong. I say it out loud.
No, you were accurate, John.
We do love our dogs in Talon, and you know, so big dog fan. So just having the two streamers of Talon in one camera, a bit too much, Mikey. RSG though, not going out without a fight, right? They go for the smoke play. They just need a good hook.
Oh, Exilern. Run Exilern. Makoto right behind him. He's going to try and remnant back the other way, but Makoto, he'll wait for it. Exilern, he'll TP away. Nice little play from him. Makoto, understanding he couldn't catch him on his own. We'll leave it be. But this is where things get really fun now. John, look at Q. He's got an Aether Lens up now. Suddenly, he doesn't even have to touch the person to throw them across the map.
Yeah, you just use your psychic powers. I guess with Psychic Headman, that makes sense. You do find Savage, but you can't really stop a Doom with a Shiva's Guard BKB up. He's just way too tanky. 38 bonus damage. Like, how do you even rip through him with physical burst, and that's mostly what you have. Your magic damage output, it's mainly on the Ember. Ooh, hook shot again.
MKS, no, not MKS. They need MKS to farm, but he's gonna get zoomed up. Oh, Q, he's setting up a lot of kills here for Talon. As mid lane, they're going for more now. Zhao Bonbon is going to burn out. Zhao Yu, not going to be so lucky either. They'll lock him down.
Range?
What's that range? That's Marcy, John. That's Marcy. She's a psychic type Pokemon in this game.
Yeah, normal types just don't work against that all too well, Mikey. Know your counters, kids, before you go into a gym. As they go onto the high ground now, as you mentioned, Mikado with the Ags up, ready to go ripping on those objectives. The push from Talon, it's still DK plus Enigma. Eidolon's come out, and it doesn't take too long to clear this out.
Well, Tier 3 tower's gone, Talon. I mean, I was about to ask how spicy do they want to be trying to go for Tier 4 towers, but they're not that spicy, John. That's fair. They'll play it the safe route. That'll be the mid-racks to go down. No contest from RSG. And you've been talking a lot about Talon, John, but what do RSG need to do to try and counter out and pull back this game their way?
Take a fight in their own terms, get a Chrono Egg combo off, right? Like, you have to secure that Egg Chrono. It's such massive team fight control. It gives you a lot of damage out there. It's excellent to just, oh my god.
No. Cameraman, move the camera. I can't look at that. Move the camera. MKS. Oh, the black hole.
Boy.
They've got XE Learn. Makoto's in as well. He's caught Roger on the Warlock. Hookshot Zhao Yu onto a Nightmare Hide. It's just not enough.
God.
I mean, at this point, you've got to call it. Just, there you go. The GG call's there. All right, Talon. I take it back, John. This team, they're very menacing. They will take out RSG and Jonathan. You know what that means. Sadly, no tiebreakers. No max tiebreakers.
Well,
Talon,
we do have one tiebreaker, right? Boom and Talon will have to play against each other again to determine number one for those DPC points. So Gary gets his wish to match up against them once more. Look at Talon. They come out insanely well. They go with a draft that I don't think any of us had any faith in, right? Like, we see the safe lane Doom, we're like, whoa, what's going on here? They're up against the Void, they're up against the Exeler and Ember once more, and they make it work. They get all the aggression mid. Mikado's a DK, he doesn't care about that, and it frees up the side lanes for these greedier cores to farm up, and Talon makes it work. RSG put up a great fight. They had a great idea in draft. At Chrono Egg, you have the Golem on top to cancel out the Enigma Black Hole BKB, but none of that lined up. Even in some of the opportunities for them to get the ganks going, we were seeing certain misplays, and those kinds of small mistakes are enough for any team to kind of capitalize on, and Talon just manages to get it done.
Well, when are these tiebreakers, John? Or do we know the schedule for that yet? Because I want to reveal right now, and I told Gary I was going to do this if Talon did win. Gary first he said he wanted a rematch with Talon because he wanted to smash them. And now he's saying Boom will smash them without question. So I'm going to start the beef right now, John. Gary Onko has promised me that Talon will get destroyed in this tiebreaker matchup. I hope that somebody from Talon can say something about that, Jonathan. I hope you can give him a call, let him know what I've just told you. Maybe you. Someone's going to respond to Gary here. So we are going to head off to a very short break, and right after the break, we'll be back with our lovely panel for said interview. Till then, it is MLP johnxfire. We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in. Don't go anywhere, though.
About balance in game number one. It was quite even. That's sense. I love it. I love it. She's an absolute chill, but God, she looks good with it. Yeah, it's all about
in the
balance.
shadows.
Yeah. Game one, both of these teams were quite even. In game two, RSG looked fantastic, but here in game three, Talon definitely pulled out a bit of a hat trick with that draft of theirs. There really wasn't much space for RSG to really come online, but that all started in the laning phase, God.
I love how production's like, let's get sheep off camera and get
highlights quickly.
Sorry, no, you are beautiful. Highlights. Yeah, I mean, this game got ugly very, very quickly. I think the keys to Talon's draft was strong lanes and heroes that just come online fast and are kind of unkillable. Like, they see this RSG draft and like, yeah, they took Void, but they pick Void with Ember. There's no synergy between... I don't like Void with Ember to begin with. I think that there's like this big problem when you pick these heroes together. And Phoenix Void, sure, great combo, but it's a great combo when you get to late game. I think it's very low damage in the early to mid game, which is where things kind of fell apart here. So we definitely saw things just completely go to shit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
I mean, there's no other way you can put it there. Even you, Sheep, were very impressed with some of the rotations coming out from Talon.
Yeah, like I'll be the first to admit it. Straight up, we were wrong. We really
I'm not
okay.
lumped in this
Me
way,
and
okay?
Gauze were wrong, and also
Alright.
Mike and John were.
I was wrong because I just jumped on the MLP meme, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
whatever.
like Talon's draft a lot.
I thought at least I thought that their draft was like way too greedy, but yeah, like I think a lot of their success came off the backbone of how strong the mid lane was. The DK absolutely destroyed Ember Spirit. Like that matchup is very hard because, but as a melee hero, you walk up, you get stunned, you get denied. Like it's very difficult, and because he had such a good lane, it meant that 4 minutes, Q could come rotate mid. They get the kill. They supports come mid again at like 5 to 6 minutes for the they keep scrapping and fighting. Their heroes are just stronger. They get a lot of kills. Bane's really good at moving to side lanes. They set up with the Nightmare onto like Faceless Void. Mako comes and stuns again. Like they're very good at rotating together. Like I think DK plus support went and my fellow panelist is laughing at my sick drip. What can you do? And
I'm trying so hard not to.
Stop it! I'm a serious analyst. And yeah, I think they did a really great job at moving around the map and playing together. Because yeah, like Savage was really strong. He also got really, I don't want to say lucky, but like that mana purge creep. Yeah, that was so like good in lane.
Yeah.
Because as soon as they did get mana, I think they killed him.
I actually want some more thoughts about 23 Savage on Doom here, and just Doom as a carry, how it's played in this game. If you think there's a lot of takeaways other people can have from this, or if this really was just one of those Doom games that it's like, wow, you are unbelievably lucky with what happened.
Obviously, great Doom game, like good against the Void, but I think where their draft looked kind of decent to me is it's a very similar draft to a team in Europe, Entity. They picked up Pure, who was on Outsiders VP, and he's been playing some weird carry heroes, Doom being one of them, and they play these drafts where they have no real carry. They just hit this mid-game time with like BKBs and just win the game off of like a strong early to mid-game. Hi friends. How we doing? How we doing? I love the viewers are probably just like, what the hell are these weirdos doing? Because they're just seeing stats and numbers, and we're just like,
can you imagine having to turn and looking at this human wearing a hat like that to talk about?
Just like living your best life.
It was so hard to hold it together, but I really appreciate you guys gave a fantastic breakdown for it. It was quite a stomping from Talon, so there is only so much we can say. They looked great. The lineup, even though people might not have believed in it, really did play out just in their favor, and I really genuinely can't take it serious. But the serious thing that we do have going up is an interview. We are going to be joined by Forev, who is the coach of Talon. Forev, congratulations. You guys are going to the major. How does that feel?
It's been a long time. I went to major.
Yeah.
I think it's been like 3 years, 4 years for me. Except standing in the Singapore major for T1. So I feel really great, and thanks to my players to carry me.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't have done it without a little bit of your help, especially with this draft. The one I kind of want to talk about is in Game 2. It didn't really work in your favor, and I want to know from your viewpoint why it didn't work.
Alchemist, we did practice a lot against Chinese team, and then it worked out pretty well, like 100% success rate. So I think we were just way too confident on it. So like we didn't expect them to playing early, like faster than us. So
okay, wow,
yeah.
it's unfortunate that it didn't work, but it was very interesting to see either way.
Were you practicing it with the Ags build? Because I've seen a lot of Alc offlane in other regions, and they're playing it with the Radiance BKB Blink build.
I mean, it depends on what we have. We had a Boy Spirit and Faceless Boy, so you could just go Egg, but like usually you can just go race pack and just build team item and be the frontliner or Bomberman. Be a Bomberman, yeah.
Speaking of drafts, then Game 3, we busted out another like kind of at least new draft from what we've seen from you. Is that something you'd practice running like Safe Lane Doom, or is that something you'd seen other teams do? How do you kind of come up with that draft?
I'm not sure. Like me seeing other regions draft and copying it. We just practiced in Chinese regions team.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
You mentioned a
Well,
lot you've been
yeah.
practicing and scrimming against the Chinese teams. Do you feel like is there a specific reason you choose to practice with them? And what do you feel like you've gotten out of that?
Cause we're competing in C region, right? So
Sure.
we don't want to leak any information,
Okay.
and yeah,
Oh,
I think Chinese team is really disciplined. So it's the best partner to grow up our discipline.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
so looking forward, like at like the major, how do you rate like yourselves and the Chinese scene even in international competition? Because obviously they didn't get to take part in the last major. Like, how do you think they're ranking up right now?
I can't really tell. EU region and Chinese region, any region is like all different style.
Okay. Well,
I can't really tell.
yeah, that's
Fair
fair.
enough, yeah.
But before you guys get to the major, you are going to have to play the tiebreaker against Boom. So I have two
Yeah.
things. One being, what's the prep going to be like before that series? And the second thing is, do you have anything that you want to say to maybe the people who are rooting for Boom and not Talon in that series?
Wait, should I actually tell the first thing?
Sure, if you want.
I don't want to leak any info though.
Then give some fake info and
Yeah,
we'll
fake
pretend
info.
it's real.
Yeah. You can tell us
Oh.
anything and we think it's real.
First
Should I
fake
mind
info?
blowing them? Maybe. Why not? I mean, we're using Doom Carry.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the interview. Good luck in the tiebreakers and also at the major. Thank you. We just had someone in the team flossing behind his back.
I can't do it. I've been taught like 8 times how to floss, and I still
I
can't
think
do it.
you not being able to floss in what you're wearing right now is somehow better than if you could floss.
I thought I was the boomer of the show. Me and Fear.
Oh my goodness, I'm actually losing it. But before we get too derailed, we need to talk about these standings. I mentioned in that interview that Talon are going to be having a tiebreaker against Boom, and that is 100% locked in. They are going to be doing tiebreakers for first and second. They're both definitely going to the major, but this is where it gets interesting. You can see Fnatic, RSG, T1, all very, very close with their score lines there. If we see T1 take the game tomorrow, then it's going to be a 3-way tiebreaker for third place. If we see Fnatic take the game tomorrow, then it is going to be Fnatic in third. So there is a lot still up in the air for these SEA teams. It's going to be an absolute wild ride for this last series. And oh my God, guys,
He's so
wow,
beautiful.
you look amazing.
Oh my
I'm
God,
ready to
God.
go.
Did you get a haircut or something?
Jesus. Wow.
Wow, you should
Wow.
become a personal stylist, sheep. But
What do you mean? He's the original.
he's the original mate swag man.
Oh God, he's
Yeah,
doing
it's
it
the backwards
again.
cow. Oh God,
no.
get us off our screens. Anything you guys want to quickly say before, especially you guys, because you won't be on panel tomorrow.
No. I'm very hyped to be
Yes.
casting tomorrow, I believe.
Yes.
I think. I don't know actually the schedule.
He's just saying it. He's gonna.
I don't know. I did not. I was not ready for that question.
Okay,
like,
that's cool.
I can say,
Yeah,
I'm
quickly.
so excited. Talon are going to the major. What a
Yeah.
great
Yeah,
time.
I'm
Like,
that's true.
They
This is
came up
sick.
from Division 2. This is their first ever tour in Division 1, and they make the major. They take a major
they
slot.
got a major. Like, that, how cool is that? Like, people have been looking for a shake-up for this whole season.
is
It
it.
feels like we got Boom, we got Talon. Like, who's the third going to be? I don't know. But, like, this means that, like, T1 or Fnatic, like, these big teams, one of them's not going.
100% is
What?
going to be a crazy shakeup. We don't know who that's going to be, but tune in tomorrow here on Beyond the Summit to find out exactly how the end of this DPC 203 plays out.